Good evening and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bluddworth, and as you can see by the graphics, tonight's video is an unscripted and unchained mail call. So I do these every once in a while when I'm anticipating something to come from a purchase I had from eBay, or a Kickstarter has finally been fulfilled, or I made a purchase directly from a publisher. And so finally, I got these few things in, from James Bond, the role playing game from 1983, as well as Solo Game Master's Guide. And I will go into the big screen to actually show you what I actually picked up. But before I move on to that, just a reminder that if you hadn't subscribed, please consider subscribing and hit the alerts bell so that you'll get alerts when I do new content. And by all means, leave your questions and comments and suggestions, because I like to respond to those requests as quickly as I can, but as thoroughly as I can too. So I've done quite a few videos that were direct responses to your comments or your suggestions. And by having more subscribers coming in and sharing out my content with the share feature, it just brings more people in. And the more people that come in, the greater reach that the channel has, and the more information and questions and comments that I get, so that then I can respond even more so. So if you haven't gotten around to subscribing, please consider subscribing, and absolutely leave those comments in there so that I can better respond to you. All right. So without further ado, let's get into what I picked up. So starting off with James Bond. So I already had the core rule book, and I had the Q manual. So that gives you everything that you could possibly need to run the game, and then at a very basic level. And then the Q manual actually just adds a lot of equipment and cars and that kind of thing. Thrilling locations I didn't have back in the day. I just had the two main books for it. So I said, well, let me grab a hold of Thrilling Locations. So I picked this up on eBay for 20 bucks. Actually, both of the things I purchased on eBay were both about 20 something dollars. And then combined shipping was $6, for the total. Came out to like $52 overall. So not really bad at all. So here it is. And Thrilling Locations, I was actually surprised by it, because it is not just a list of like other cities and everything that you can go to and such. What it does is it actually breaks it down into various casinos that are around the world, that are world famous casinos, at least back in the time frame that this was written in. Hotels, restaurants, trains, boats, and planes and airports. And there's little tips and hints on how to use them. So it's a really nice resource to hit upon that pillar of role playing, all right, of exploration, and a lot of travel mechanics involved in this, and just taking those thrilling locations, whether it be a hotel or a train or an airplane, and how to craft adventures that take place in those locations themselves. Really kind of interesting. So it was an unexpected surprise. The other item that I picked up was for your information. So this is an actual Game Master supplement. And when I opened this up, because again, I didn't have this back in the day, I wanted to get this now because I do intend to run James Bond 007 RPG at some point, whether it be a one shot or at a run it at a convention or something. I really do want to run this game, but I wanted to run it in its full. And so I picked this up here. Now what this does is this adds some additional role playing supports, and some rules additions and modifications. So when I say role play, supports, we're talking about well, first it starts off with preparing characters for a mission, and so you're going through how do you actually prepare the players for their missions and elements of a mission, defining the mission, selecting equipment. Then there's fleshing out the characters, and there were several different parts of this where you're adding additional elements to character creation that are going to help you role play better. And then it goes on to creating campaigns and having continuity and continuing NPCs and so on, and then character growth based on that. So you're not just doing these little isolated one shots. If you choose to, you can run campaigns and they kind of flow together. So, really important stuff there. Then there's adventure generation, so actual tables and such that you can actually create an adventure using various tables, randomized tables. Then there's travel and methods of transportation and all of the different types of travel that come into play. um, Bribery, I'm assuming, because I haven't gone through this and I will break it up, but bribery is probably customs kind of bribery. Just my thought. Three-dimensional combat rules. So, that might sound weird until you realize what they're talking about: underwater combat, shoreline combat, drowning, weightless combat. So, any place where you'll have more than just, an X and Y axis, whatever you call it, you're going to have multi-dimensional, combat, somebody above me, behind me and below me, and so on. So just different aspects. Their brainwashing section in here, doing undercover work and imposters. All right, so really digging into that. It's a totally different dynamic that you have to generate and added complexity when you're doing undercover work, as opposed to the regular James Bond, kind of stuff. And then we go into the different real world intelligence agencies, non player characters, and then thrilling cities, where they add a whole bunch of thrilling cities to the selection. So, really looking to go more in depth with that. So, having everything together now, I do feel confident that I have enough to move forward and create something for a convention. I'm planning on doing some convention play, and I'm certainly looking to run James Bond 007 RPG. So I think it'll be a big success, and everyone will be anxious to actually give the game a play. And I'll of course tweak it a little bit as well. So that completes my set. Now I go on to the Solo Game Master's Guide. This is from Modifius, and it was actually written by Geek Gamers. They have a YouTube channel, I'm fairly certain, and probably a website and such. But it's either published by Modifius or it's at least distributed by Modifius. And looking through this, so this is solo play. So this is you're running an adventure for yourself. So no other players involved. And I will do now. I have the full. I have the PDF of this, and now I have the hardcover. So I will do a full video doing a review of this once I unpack it and read through it a bit, and then I will come back to the channel here and present that to you all. So getting back over to our opening screen. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and again, if there are any games out there that you want me to take a closer look at, absolutely feel free to leave that in the comments section. If you are a creator and you want me to either review your product or take a look at your product and see if I want to, pick up a copy of it or whatever. I do have some some things that I like to do. All right. If you want to send me a PDF so that I can, review your product, I will certainly accept a PDF, read through it, and if it's something that I really enjoy, and I'll not only do a video of it on the channel, but as soon as you have a hard copy, I will purchase that. All right. So I don't take items in for free. If there's something that I want to talk about, I am going to buy it. I certainly enjoy buying, as much stuff as I can, as long as it's affordable. And, I like to support those in the hobby, especially whether they be independent or, OSR or, any of those small creators out there. I really do like to support them as much as I can. And I don't like to do reviews for physical copies that I've been given. I'd rather be able to tell everyone out there that no, I actually purchased this. I actually put money on this, and I will give a fair review. In other words, I will talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the product itself. And if it's a really really good product that I really like to put my stamp of approval on it, as much as you may value that or not, I will certainly go out there and push the game for you as well. So thank you very much for coming in. I hope you liked this video. As always, if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Share it. I don't tell enough people, or say it often enough, share the video out there. That way it gets the most reach. And then if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. All right. Have a great evening. Take care.